Welcome to another episode of Wellness Gangster, man. Today I got a good brother, man. Brother Love, we call him Foreign Love. Killeen, Texas knows him. I met him some years back. I went down. I went to one of their gatherings. Just I love to be around good brothers. You know what I'm saying? And this is a brother that I met. Actually, some of your brothers was in Temple riding around, and they invited me down to come to Killeen, and then that's how I ended up meeting you when I came down, man. But just give the people a little bit, a little bit background about yourself, and then I get into the interview. Thank you for coming on, by the way.
Yes, sir. Thank you, brother Tony. First off, I want to just thank you for giving me the opportunity on your platform. You're very well respected wherever you go. I'm not just saying in your city, your town, your state, wherever you go. When I think about when you say realer than real, I had to think about that this morning. What is realer than real? We can always say gold is real, diamonds are real, maybe even silver or platinum. But realer than real is a feeling. A feeling is how when you connect with another person. When you say I might connect with God, I might connect with Yahweh or the energy or the universe, but I'm outside right now and I'm connecting and I feel something realer than real. I feel the wind. And that's what my brother needs to be and I need to be for him. When we connect, we can have this feeling like it just breezes in and out. We're able to talk to each other, one another, know that we might not always agree on everything, but at the end of the day, we're going to still be brothers. When I think of the word brother, it means be righteous to your other self. The main word in brother is other. See, when we sell drugs to our other self, that means we're killing our other self. You're my brother. I can't kill you. I can't harm you because if I harmed you, that means I'm harming my mother, my aunt, my sisters, my brothers. The greatest title that anybody could ever have is brother or sister in that case, because this is a family affair. When I'm talking to you and I'm talking about your children, oh, those are my nieces and nephews. This ain't gossip. We family. Oh, you talking about my kids, my children? Y'all heard what y'all uncle said. Y'all better get over there. He realer than real. He gonna put that file on you. So I greatly appreciate you allowing me on your network. So as for me, just a normal guy. I'm from Atlantic City, New Jersey. Very humble beginnings. I decided to go the gang route. I decided to go the street route. I went to prison, took the police on a high-speed chase. Nothing too special. Went to prison, came home, went right back to the streets. I got out on a Tuesday. I was back selling drugs by that Thursday. By the following Thursday, I had a gun. It was that simple. This is how the life had taken me. So over a couple years, I kept doing it. I had been engaged to 3 different women. So I lost half, which is 50%, plus another half, which was 25. Then I'm lost another half. Now I'm down to 12.5. But you can't start a business with 12.5% of nothing. If I gave you $1 right now, I said you only get to keep $12.50. That ain't even the right math. That's a 12 cent, barely 13 cent. The math's not mathing. So I decided to give my life, you say to God or to Christ, but I gave myself to a higher cause, something that I was able to connect with, and I joined the Nation of Islam. Now, for everyone, that might not be the correct answer. I tell people, go wherever you may be needed. I love seeing my brother and sister talking about, oh, you the Muslims and all that. Man, brother, go to church. If the church isn't working for you, go to the synagogue. If that's not going for you, go to the roller rink. Go learn how to get your roll bounce on like Lil Bow Wow and go be sweet. Sorry, go win. We need somebody to beat that man. I'm tired of watching Lil Bow Wow keep losing.
Yes,
But
sir.
when we say that, I also say being your brother. I get to connect with you, and we just don't always have to agree on everything. So as I've been looking back and I look over my life and I think about where I could be and where I'm at, I'm doing very well now. Got a business. I'm also a dental assistant. I speak pretty good Spanish, which always throws people off. They're like, wait a minute, you speak Spanish? Yes, yo puedo hablar con todos los gentes del mundo, pero yo prefiero como la idioma como los dominicanos. That means I speak pretty good Spanish and I can talk to anybody, but I prefer speaking Dominican Spanish. I went to Dominican Republic for 5 weeks, not for a job or anything. I went back to just find me, to do me a little better, to understand who I was and who I wasn't. And I'm back here in Texas trying to make it happen.
Man, I love the story, and definitely, I tell people all the time, man. Like, I'm not super religious. I'm spiritual,
Yes.
because I grew up in the Christian the church. That's what I grew up in, and I grew up thinking, well, not thinking. I was growing up programmed that Muslims was the boogie bear. That person changed his name. That this that the third. They're Muhammad this. They're X this. And the older I got, I realized that them are the people that makes the most sense. Like once you start, because I got away from religion because of I got more closer to my Black history.
Yes.
And if you start learning about slavery, you start learning about your history of your people, it's kind of hard to be a Christian. Not down in Christian because my mom is still a full Christian. She in church now. You
My
know
family as well.
Yeah. So it's not that was something personal for me. But like you were just saying, go to the roller rink. I tell people all the time, whatever makes you a better person, do that. I'm not here to try to change nobody. I'm not trying to here to change your mind or get you to win you over. Whatever makes you a better person. So I definitely respect that. But man, you said you started off in the games. And before you definitely, I got to get into your story because you're the first one to told me about the microgreens and all that stuff. So we're gonna get into all that. But I want to go back to your beginning. What I deal with kids all the time, so I'm always talking about the environment. And like we always say, we're a product of our environment. But what I try to teach my youth now is, since we can't just change the environment overnight, let's make your environment a product of you. You know what I'm saying? And that's something I was never taught. I was always taught, man, you do this help, mess with a lot of girls, make big money in the streets. You know what I'm saying? Like I was taught to embrace that, not to fight against that and go the other way. So what was your upbringing? Was you had a lot of older heads that guided you that way, or you kind of went that way yourself? Just tell us the background on that.
So for me, I grew up with my grandmother. My mother's off in the army. My father was still doing the street thing. And I was tell you a story. It's called The Elephants in Petersburg Park. So there was elephants, and they had a whole bunch of teen elephants, and they took away the adults. They noticed that the female elephants weren't cleaning themselves, and the boy elephants were out of pocket. They were going crazy. And all of a sudden, they live on a safari where there's no poachers. They noticed that this white rhino was becoming extinct. They're like, we don't see no bullet shell casings. The girls aren't cleaning themselves. The young men were killing these other rhinos like a gang initiation, pretty much. Then they replaced all the adults, and they noticed inside of the blood of these elephants, the young elephants, that their testosterone levels were sky high, even the girl elephants. So I say that for me, I didn't grow up with my father or my mother. I had my older grandmother who was a very God-fearing woman, but my testosterone was out of whack. It's out of check. There's no balance. I've never seen my mother and father married. I've never seen my mother and father kiss each other. I've never seen them interact with each other in a loving way. I've never even seen my grandmother married to another man and say that they love each other. So when I look back over things like that, I see where it was easy for the gang life to take over. It offered me family, money, stability. All the cool guys was doing it. Money, cars, clothes, you know how that goes. When I think about the reason why my brothers are still in the gang, because I'm still very active in the gang overall, just trying to be like a social worker. I'm telling them to get jobs, go back to school. We don't have to sell drugs. There's more in these streets than being in these streets. That's why they made sidewalks, because the streets ain't for everybody. That's why they made highways, because the streets aren't for everybody. So as I looked and I talked to my father, he was very abusive. When I turned 13, 14, he tried to take full custody of me, and he was trying to come out of the street life. He was tired of selling drugs. But now imagine making $2,000 a day to you don't get paid for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So it was a very hard transition for him.
Yeah.
It took me, I didn't talk to my father from the age of 17 to 27. So we have a huge major gap of, I'm just out there on my own. I'm becoming my own father. I'm raising other young men and women. I'm not just raising children like I meet a lady and then I'm raising her children. No, I'm raising other juveniles. Even if you're 24, you have a juvenile mindset of people who are broken, who are just looking for something to clutch on. And then as the gang culture, if it's ran properly, is very militant and very disciplined. So now I have the discipline, I have the mind, I have the money, and then I have people to help enforce it. So when I look back at it and I think like, where did I go wrong? I didn't have a mother and a father. And that's something that I couldn't really control. Or for a lot of us, our children, we have very good mothers. But where's that man that loves mom? Where's that man? Oh, mom got a boyfriend. I don't like him. He ain't my man's. Where my dad at? Oh, dad only come over on Saturdays. So it definitely takes a mother and a father and a village to help raise our children.
Yeah. Nah, that's deep, man. So what I'm before I go to the great part, we got to go
Yes,
through
sir.
in prison. What would you say your most valuable lesson, the time you spent in prison, that when you came out? So you say you came out and then you went right back to the streets. But I know we all want to change. Like I tell people all the time, a lot of the guys that I know in the streets don't want to be there. But like you say, when you go to look at these jobs and they know I can't feed my family with this. I know a lot of
Right.
good guys that rather work, but that check is not enough. They gotta spend that check just to go make more money for me. You know what I'm saying? So what's a valuable lesson that you say you took away from it, even though you went to the streets? You probably was already thinking about changing, even though you just couldn't at that one moment.
Personally, I learned two valuable lessons in there. So I learned how to work with the enemy, if you will, which is crazy because it was other black men. I learned how to work with other gangs very well. And while I was in prison, I went to college for business and marketing. So the man who trained me in business marketing, white man, I think his name was Russell, or they called him Rusty. He was the man who helped change a bunch of the 7-Elevens into Quickie Marts when the Simpsons movie had came out. And he taught me about business marketing. And he sat me down. He says, "You're not supposed to be here." He said, "You're too smart. You know what's going on."
Yeah.
And I was like, "How you know?" He said, "You're not like the rest of them." I got very good grades. I was doing very well in it. Then I came home back to the streets and I applied what I learned in prison and in prison college. Now, mind you, it wasn't prison college. I went to Cedar Valley, Dallas, Texas.
Okay.
But I learned those and I applied them. Business, marketing, sales, how to do good customer service, how to talk to people. A lot of our youth who are in the street that want to sell these drugs talk to these people terribly. I took those church values that I learned and was talking to people how they deserve to be talked to. I had to tell this one youngster one time, he says, "Man, why are you talking to crackheads like this, blah, blah, blah." I said, "Why are you talking to them like this? This man smokes crack and weed. Brother, you smoke, you on Molly, Percocet, lean, Black and Mild,
Yeah.
cigarettes,
Yeah.
40s, Grey Goose. You on everything. You the dope fiend. That man just on some drugs. You the one I can't trust." Ask him how you feel. I don't know. Like, you don't even know how to feel because you're on uppers, downers, mood stabilizers.
Hard to know
So,
what.
yeah, for some of my older brothers. And they said, "Bro, get out there and go be something."
Yeah.
I've been home. I'm 33. I've been home since 21. I've only been arrested one time in the last 12 years. One time for 2 hours. Got out instantly. They was like, "Oh, man." And they dropped the case.
Yeah.
I found out that jail wasn't for me. That was the third lesson. It wasn't for me.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
anybody needs to know something about jail, Cat Williams said it back. Go to your closet and just go sit in there. And
Yeah.
that's what it's like.
Yeah.
Then go, that's it. Go to your closet, then go put somebody that you don't like in there and go learn how to fight him every day.
Man.
So it was definitely a learning experience. It was definitely humbling, but I wouldn't do it on ever again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not if I didn't have to.
And that's a valuable thing to even say because a lot of our youth. Because I'm gonna tell you a quick story. I left my mom's house. I left my mom's house at 11. I started running away at 11. I left for good at 12, right? But I tell this story a lot. I remember being so programmed with the streets that I remember 12, 13 saying, "I can't wait till I go to the pen so I can see the big homies." Because in my mind, and that sounds crazy when I say that now, but when I was coming up, all I seen was people get money, go to the pen, come back out, get the girls, get money, go to the pen. So I thought, okay, well, I'm gonna get money, I'm gonna mess with these girls, I'm gonna go get swole a little bit, come back out, because my brain was thinking that this is just regular life. You know what I'm saying? So I get, and that's why I'm always talking about the change of your mindset, because I tell people all the time, it's way more money legally than it is illegally. It's way more money. We're taught about five or six things to do to make it: sports, go to college, get a job, maybe the army. That's about it, when it comes to black people. And then the more I study wealth, I'm like, man, it's 1,000 ways to be wealthy. You know what I'm saying? Like, why we only taught like 5 or 6 of them? It's systematic. You know what I'm saying? It's systematically set up like that. So why do you think we're only pushed into about 5 industries when it's thousands of them?
Oh, that's a very easy answer, brother. When the slaves were first free, there was only a handful of things that they said they would never teach us. First thing was the science of mating. If you knew how to pick the right partner, you'll double up your money. If I made 20,000 and my wife made 20,000, that means we got 40,000 right there. That that's simple economics.
Yeah.
I can only make $20,000 a year. My house costs 200,000. I'm supposed to pay in 10 years. No, you're going to be paying on that house for 30 years, 40 years, and you done bought this house 2-3 times. Very simple thing. Second thing is said they will never teach us economics. Wait a minute, you think you're gonna let these ninjas learn how to count? They already learned how to read, but economics? See, when we think about economics, we're thinking dollars exchanging. No, economics is how resources exchange. I own the trees, you own the bricks. Guess what? We both need each other to make a house. Okay, then the other thing they said they will never teach us, the science of warfare. They're not going to teach us warfare, how to kill them or get rid of them. We don't even need to hurt anybody. Black people are the most peaceful people on the earth until it comes time to deal with other black people. So when we look at Black Wall Street, everybody, Black Wall Street, we had a Black Wall Street. Why did Black Wall Street not survive? It's because when it got burnt down or shot up or bombed, one, we didn't have a military. We did not have any type of defense. Second, what do white people do when the trailer park get knocked down? We gonna build right again. We gonna build it. Trailer park done got hit by 38,000 hurricanes. They gonna build it right again. We didn't rebuild, and that's what we need to do. So when we wonder what's wrong with our people, another thing is we don't stick together. They're only going to teach us a handful of sciences, a handful of, like you say, 4 or 5. Go to the military. The military in Killeen, Texas, is a very easy answer because you can go be all you can be because you can never be that on the streets. When I go kill somebody who kills my brother, I go to jail forever. If I go kill somebody who has a problem inside of the military, I go get a gold medal. Then you say a job. They're creating more jobs just so we can work these jobs. As black people, we're more productive since slavery than ever. We're very, very productive. I wouldn't, and if I was a white person with some wealth, I wouldn't give y'all nothing either. For what? You don't deserve nothing. You won't do nothing. You're lazy. You kill each other. You ain't never seen a Chinese advertisement for Chinese food because them people stick to each other. I just came back from Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. There's a Chinatown. That thing about 2 blocks long. There's plenty of Chinese statues. It look like Chinatown, downtown LA and all that. Them people don't even really try to speak Spanish. They talking about this our language. We might learn some English here and there, but they don't care about us. Yeah. So that's why there's wealth. Like we say, wealth is gangster. Guess what's gangster? Sticking together.
Yeah, and that's one of my biggest things I love to talk about on her because we have to change the way we see the gangster, the hard, what's real. What's up, Van? I see Van in the chat, man. But yeah, that's one of the most gangsters thing ever. We sticking together. And I got a book coming out called The Streets Lied to Us, where I talk about the stuff that we think is the stuff that we brainwashed to think the realest, the most gangster is really the most dumbest stuff ever. But we're programmed like that. And I tell people, because I'm all about holding ourselves accountable. But even in my book, I started off by saying, even though all this is set up systematically, it can still be broke down. And we just change the way they don't even have, everything's on autopilot now. The people that run the show don't even have to brainwash us no more because we so brainwashed, they don't even have to trick us no more. It's already planted. You know what I'm saying? So, and like I say, I'm like my things is we got to feed ourselves, house ourselves, clothe ourselves, educate ourselves, employ ourselves, and then be able to protect it. I always end it with that being, you got to be able to protect whatever you build. And I owe a lot of that to following Minister Farrakhan. Like, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people, they be like, man, you Muslim, this and that. I'm like, I'm not religious, but if I was, that the religion I would be in, because that's the man that speaks to my soul, that speaks to my, you know what I'm saying? That I follow him without even being an official member of the nation, just because I'm a logic thinker. I like black men that's powerful, that stands on their square, that's not bowing to anything. Because to me, I always knew I was going to be like wealthy or rich one day, but I thought I had to bow down and do it a certain way because that's the systematic way. I didn't know nothing about strong black men that wasn't scared to say this or scared to say that, and never being disrespectful, never doing this, but standing on their square about what's real. You know what I'm saying? And that's what drew me to that. So what leading into that, what got you into the nation? Was it when you was locked up, when you got out? How did you, tell me your role into the nation.
Man, it's a very funny story. So I signed up for a college. I wanted to become a dental assistant. Shout out to my brother Daryl Leonard. You go on Facebook, you find him, Don X Leonard. Brother is very handsome brother. He's 6'1", light skin, and he invited me to his house one day. And he said, I got some shirts for you. I had long hair, I had a goatee, I got a tattoo on my face and all that. And he said, I got some shirts for you. And he playing Minister Farrakhan on there. And I had never heard a black man speak this boldly, this tough. To this day, I have no idea what that man said. And I said, wait a minute, you one of Muslims? He said, yeah, man. I said, I'm coming to the mosque with you. He says, nah, I ain't here to bring you for that. I said, I ain't asked you no questions. I told you.
Yeah.
I told you. So within 6 months, I was registered. I got registered before he did. Now that brother has gone on to other cities, states, making it happen. I've gained so much, but I had never seen black men this fresh, well respected, not taking nothing. All that, turn the other cheek. No, they talking about eye for an eye.
Yeah.
I had never seen, and then they're gonna be justified. For me, the Nation of Islam was the right choice because it gave me spirituality, it gave me the religion part, it gave me the math, it gave me science, it had gave me Christianity 2.0, if you will. I thought, like you said, well, them Muslims against Jesus, or I was like, who taught you that? I thought the Muslims didn't believe in Jesus. I had to tell my grandmother. She's like, you don't believe? I said, we get Jesus. We just call him Isa. That's his name in Arabic. Oh, what about Moses? We get Musa. Oh, but when we're telling certain stories, we make it more relatable. So when we read the Bible, most times we don't see ourselves. We see allegorical or stories. Like I'm gonna give you the story of Moses.
Okay.
Moses is the story of black people. If you put it in the proper context, his name is Musa. M-U-S-A. Okay. It's the motherland in USA. Musa was put in a little box, sent up the river to grow up in Pharaoh's house. Do not black people fit that prophecy? We was put in a little box through the Middle Passage to grow up in another land. That is us.
Yeah.
When we see I love Jesus, right? Jesus was stuck in between a thief and a murderer when he was killed. Weren't we stuck between England and America, a thief and a murderer?
Yeah.
That is us. So when you look at Jesus, in Spanish is Jesus. If you phonetically spell it, he is us. That's us.
Yeah.
We grew up in a manger. We was birthed by a virgin birth. What does a virgin birth mean? Virgin can also mean the word uncultivated, untouched. We're untouched people, uncultivated, that we have so many gifts and talents. Then he was born in a manger. What is a manger? That's where there's going to be pigs, swine, snakes, rats. Isn't that America? Isn't America a wilderness with a whole bunch of mangers? We think about it. We got different friends. Some of them rats. You watch out for them snakes. Some of us are bullheaded, hard-headed. We don't listen. So when we look at these things, we don't look at them and see us. We're seeing them. For me, one of the very, very special thing was I got Black Jesus. Oh, man, Black Jesus? Could you imagine as a young man growing up with white Jesus, and you say representation is very important. When I say God, I say Jesus, I always think of white Jesus or white God. That means that's not even in the concept of us, because white is good, black is bad. I'm black, and white is good, that means I'm bad. So the Nation was a great answer for me, not because it gave me black supremacy or kill whitey. For what? When we say wealth is gangster, I don't even have to tell you about nothing else. We're not going to say poverty is worse. We're just talking about this thing. When I say black is love, black is beautiful, we don't have to put down white people. I don't have to put down Asians, Mexicans. I don't have to put down. I can just talk about us. I say wealth is gangster. Yeah. I don't need to say is I'm tired of being broke. You should have been tired of being broke.
Nah, that's true fact. And like, once again, it goes back to program. We're programmed to be scared of certain words, be scared to feel a certain way. And I tell people, like, special us within that certain age range, that 28 to 42, when our parents grew up in the 60s and stuff, because they raised a lot of us. If you're not raised in a real strong militant type of household, you know what I'm saying? They raised us to be submissive, not because they wanted us to really be submissive. It's really just they wanted us to live. They seen so many strong black men that talk die, that they didn't want us to be that person. You know what I'm saying? My mom still be scared today to the way I talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm like, Mom, the person that they killed them don't even be the people that talk like that. So they killing us all anyway. If you talk like that or don't, if they want to kill you, you behind enemy lines. You know what I'm saying? So what do you feel about being behind enemy lines? How do you approach that?
Oh, that's easy. Quote Minister Farrakhan: "Do for self or suffer the consequence." It's that simple. Do for self. It's that simple. All we need to do is get a couple, not like-minded, but one-minded people, get some on land and separate. See, when we talk about separation, we're not just talking about we're going to stay in America. So let's check this out. If you had the flu, you would separate from the flu. If you had sickness in you, you would take some NyQuil because you're trying to kill it. So let's just say separation. Mr. Farrakhan also teaches separation is better than prayer. Reason I say separation is better than prayer is because I can say we can pray every day, but I keep getting hell from this man at my job every single day. Jesus, take the pain away. Muhammad, please help. No, brother, separation. If you had a no good woman and she kept beating you, or you had a no good man and he kept choking you every day in front of your kids, you would separate. But not for us. We're programmed to think that we can just have it all here in America. We can because this land is ours. But why not separate from the problem? Why not secure it once we get there? We have friendships in all walks of life. Right now, there's so many different Latinos that love us already, who know that they're black. There's an entire town that's Afro-Latino in Mexico that want us to come home. For some of us, he say, oh, we going back to Ghana, which you can get easily dual citizenship, but I don't know anybody there. Why not do something that we can all easily, I say Mexico because I can just drive back and forth to America. My grandma got a passport, but she ain't about to be catching no 18-hour flight to Africa. She could just drive to Mexico, come see me, go back, leave. We're so afraid of saying, oh, the cartel's going to get me, but the cartels secure, they own everything. You don't ever hear the cartel compounds getting taken over. None of that. They're securing it, and that's a bad example, but it's a realistic example for our youth. Secure yourself. Separate from the problem. When I was talking to a man who was in the cartel some years ago, had a different lifestyle. He said, we don't do these drugs like that. We feed them through Mexico to America because we're trying to kill y'all. So if the Mexicans are trying to kill America and America's trying to kill black people, don't you think we're the most hunted people on this planet? So why shouldn't we just separate from the problem? Go somewhere where, shout out to Vantonio, he said, go where I'm celebrated, not tolerated. Been saying that for years. Go where you're celebrated. Do you not know in other countries, black people, white people, everybody love us? I went to Germany. Oh my God. The German went, oh my God, black man. Hey now. Keep your hands off me. So we need to separate, brother. We need to go do something else.
I tell a lot of us we don't really want to be free. We just want to be treated better. And I say that because if we really want to be free, we gotta learn how the sewage works, how the piping works, how the real hard work of running a nation, running a city, running a town. And I think a lot of us really don't want that. We want to just be patted on our head a little better, maybe give us an extra quarter or 50 cents on our check. We just want to be treated a little better. But the real work you have to do to really run your own nation. I did a broadcast maybe a couple of weeks ago about building a nation and just talking about all the stuff we have to do. And I had somebody tell me that's a lot. I'm like, that's not a lot to survive. Like, I never thought, I'm sitting here with a bunch of eggs right now. I never thought I'd be into growing foods. I never thought I'd be into raising chickens, to goats, to, I never thought that. But the older I got, I realized that's where the wealth is. I can talk about big money on here all day long. If I don't know how to feed myself and the store shut down, what's my big money going to do? If I can't feed my family, I can't feed nobody, I can't feed my village, but I got all this money and they can easily just shut down my bank account. You see what they just did to Kanye West. They still, even if you got millions or billions of dollars, they still got control of that. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, so what do you think about that? Like, a lot of us really don't want to be free. We just want to be treated better. What's your take on that?
No comment. No, you're right. You're right. You're 100% right. So I'm just thinking about what you said with the banks and we want to be treated better. We're scared. Yeah. We've been programmed and taught to be scared, which makes sense. Yeah. But we're not going to get the skills to pay the bills. All right. You want to run a nation. You're going to have to do some of the basic skills that half of us can't even do. I'm a dental assistant and I always ask people what they do. And I always thank and praise the people that we don't care about. My number one man that I love is the water treatment man. I love that man. I gave him a hug. It was weird. He's like, hey, bro, don't touch me. No, I gave that man a hug because
Yeah.
right now,
Yeah.
it was me and you, and let's just say 12 other people. So we got 14 people. How are we gonna treat the water? Man, we just gonna boil the water. Man, that's not how that works.
Yeah. That's all we know, though. That's all I know.
Yeah, you got it right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we got the water boiled. Cool. Who gonna take the trash out? What day the trash go out? Oh, it go out on Tuesdays in my neighborhood, but you live over there, so it go out on Thursdays. What you gonna do with the trash? Oh, we're gonna burn the trash. So we just setting all these fires.
Yeah.
Then you talk about the farm is the cornerstone of a nation.
Yeah.
When you talk about the farm, how are you going to run a country? A country can only need 2 people. Let's just say 100. You have eggs. How many eggs do 100 people need a day? How much milk do they need? How much wheat, barley? We're always thinking micro. We have not got to the point where we're able to have the macro concept. And that's something that we need to work on. But we have to get the micro together first. Let's work on keeping 12 people with eggs every day. Let's work on some of the basics. Once again, I'm a dental assistant. Take y'all behinds to the dentist.
Yeah.
When last time, I tell black people all the time, when the last time you flossed your teeth? 9 out of 10 people don't floss their teeth.
Yeah.
And I'm guilty of that too. I don't do it every day. I know I can get my teeth worked
I
out.
had to get on myself. I had to get better at that too, because you definitely not lying.
9 out of 10 don't do it. That means at least that one person who said they do it, they probably lying about it.
Or they don't do it consistently. They just like, you know what I'm saying? Now that
Right.
you got me thinking about it, it's probably been about 4 or 5 days since I even did it. It
Right.
been before then, so I probably do it a few times a month. You know, you should
Right.
do it every day.
Right. Then we don't do certain things like taking care of ourselves. Of course, we know we shouldn't be going to the doctor or be going to the doctor, but okay, wealth is gangster. Your health is gangster.
Yes.
Take care of the basics.
Yeah.
Work out, exercise, right? Exercise is very important. Eating healthy. Guess what else you have to feed? Your mind. You know, of course we're going to be afraid to do something else because we watch Netflix all day. Netflix and chill. That's all we do. We can watch a binge watch marathon, but can't binge watch a book. You can't even binge watch your children. So of course we're gonna be afraid to do something else. I'll be afraid. So when I go back and I read books, I have my books, some of my books with me.
Yes.
Everywhere I go, I'm working on Spanish. Everywhere I go.
Yeah, I got to get my Spanish game up, man.
Yeah. Yeah. So because this is something I tell black people, you need a handful of things, especially 3 things to help you survive, right? 1, you're gonna have to get a passport.
Yeah.
Okay? You're gonna have to get a passport so you can go somewhere, go see something. The city, the world is bigger than them 12 friends you got and them 38 people you see on Facebook.
Yeah.
You're gonna need a passport. 2, you're gonna need a skill, a hustle, or a trade. Because wherever you go, you need to be making yourself valuable, needed. You know, right now, I could take you to Africa, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, and you're going to go get you some chickens. You're going to run the chicken trade all the way up. Guess what? In those countries, you can find a rooster for free. There's always chickens out there for free. They just run around for free. Cool. So now we multiplying chicken. We're selling chickens to eat and we're selling eggs. 3rd, you must need to learn how to speak the language. Black people, America don't really make too much of nothing. As black people, we're the number 1 consumers, of course. You know, we make $1.7 trillion and own no land. Cool. Sisters, our sisters wear all these Brazilian weaves and wigs. Guess what? We don't speak Brazilian. Guess what? Brazilian is not a language. We don't speak Portuguese. Okay? I got a PlayStation 4. I'm about to get the 5. Mind your business. I got the money. It's just hard to find. We don't speak Japanese. We can't even go over there and talk to them to get the PlayStation 5s for cheaper because we don't understand the language, the culture. So when you learn, I got to tell people, when you learn the language, learn the culture, learn the food and how to cook the food so you understand a little bit better what it means to have a pilon. A pilon is something that looks like this, like a water bottle, if you will, and they're mashing up mashed potatoes. They don't have a mash. They have this old school thing that they still do to this day. Understand that in certain countries that you're not supposed to tip because it's considered disrespectful. Understand the history. Right now, we say there's an economic crisis. I just came from DR, so I love them. But between Haiti and Dominican Republic, right now, $20 American is $1,000 in the DR. But $20,000 in Haiti, which is the same continent connected, I think it's probably like $4,000. And they're the same island. why is there an economic problem? You're gonna have to look that up. Figure out what could you do if you went to Haiti right now. Could you help them, or would you just be another person lost? If you went to Mexico, what do you have to offer?
Yeah.
You know, when Christopher Columbus came to the Dominican Republic, they brought pigs because they knew, like, man, we're gonna have to eat. You know, pig is one of the most filthiest animals that you shouldn't be eating. But in a time of crisis, even the Holy Quran tell you eat pork. If you hungry, you better eat. What, you gonna die because you want to not have common sense? Black people, we don't have the common sense to figure out what's next.
Yeah.
Let's figure out, what do I want to do more with my life? Okay, cool. I know I don't want to work at McDonald's forever. Do I want to be the manager, the general manager? Do I eventually want to own it? Or do I want to go to school, get some more skills? Do I want to start my own business? Do I want to add some value to my life, or continue to do things like collect Section 8, welfare, unemployment, food stamps? Even though white people collect more than that than any of us, we don't control the narrative to say that there's more white people on food stamps than us.
Nah, we don't control no narrative. You know what I'm saying? Like I tell you, when people say black on black crime, I'm like, everybody that's in their same neighborhoods, it's white on white crime is just as high as black on black crime, but you never hear it on TV. You know, Mexican on Mexican crime. You kill the people that's closer to you, and your that's just life. That's just normal thinking. But for some reason, it's promoted that black on black, like we just kill each other at the enormous rates than anybody else. The rates are not too much different. You know what I'm saying? But now, what you were saying about just don't eat pig, like I haven't ate pork and man, I don't even know how many years. You know what I'm saying? But and it's not that I'm the healthiest person. I just started portion sizing my plates down, started drinking more water, and I stopped putting just everything in my body. And I have a guy that I did a Wealth is Gangster interview with some weeks back. And you know, he's not really into the eggs because he's more healthy than that. But I told him I want to be healthy, but I'm a survivalist at the same time. So if the world's ending, and you know what I'm saying, I'm thinking about feeding the village and thinking about of course I want everybody to be healthy, but at the same time, I do this because it's about survival. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we could do healthy and stuff, but it's about balance. We all have to balance ourselves and balance where we're going at. And that's big. So what got you into the grow? Do you still grow? Because I know you last time I showed you had, man, I'm talking about, I ain't never seen nothing that big in the house. You had it inside the house. So, and then you were telling me about making your own compost or something like
Yes.
that. Like, tell us about your growing, about your knowledge of growing and just how you got into that.
So when COVID-19 hit, I had plenty of time to be at the house. I'm studying, I'm paying attention to what's going on. So COVID, I'm not going to say scared me. It made me very aware of, I remember there was no toilet paper.
Yeah.
And I had plenty of canned goods, but I was like, man, canned goods going by like hot fire. So within the first week, I said, I'm going to start a garden. So as I navigated through it, I learned about microgreens. I learned microgreens grow within, let's say, 7 to 14 days. And I figured if I can keep a steady growth of those, steady rotation, I will have more so I can feed me for this day, or I'm gonna have to eat this on that day. So currently, I do not have the microgreens. I put those in storage because right now we're not doing crisis time. Right now, I think I have close to 50 pounds of different types of seeds. I keep it airlocked tight. I have probably 100 pounds of dirt. I have my shallots growing, and I have my cilantro. Cilantro, if you ever grow cilantro, don't. All right, don't. Lord, this grows all over my yard like a weed. Like, at some point, I was cutting it down or just handing out. My neighbors didn't want it anymore. I just cut it like it's become a whole thing now. But I have a couple different plants on autopilot. I'm very into bucket gardening because the problem that we have is our soil here in Texas is very tough. It's very rough. But if I can do stuff in a container, I can move it in and out in case it might hurricane. We had the cold, the freeze. I was able to maintain my plants without them going to shock. I have 2 different flower beds, very off the ground. Not even how most people say raised. That means they're still connected to the ground. No, mine are in the air because I'm trying to keep down the cats, the raccoons. I don't want them just in my stuff. Yeah. So I love the gardening portion. One of the tricks I tell people, So you go to Walmart, you see it's like a little, hold on, it's like a little bulb, and you stick it in the water. All you need is a water bottle. Get your water bottle, put a little hole in it, and you just stick it in the ground. You stick it into, not into the ground or into your dirt, and it's automatically watering your plants at all given time. You don't have to spend $10. Just get a regular water bottle. So I like to have my garden on autopilot, so I'm not having to worry about it, or oh, I can leave the country, or I can leave the town, or it's Texas, we have a heat wave. It only rained once in the last 90 days, the last 6 months.
Yeah.
It skipped straight from summer straight to fall in half a second, or it's 12 different weathers in one day here. So I definitely like gardening. It was definitely a change of pace for me because I was used to destroying and I wasn't used to creating. Yeah. So now I have to watch something grow. I'm out in the garden. I'm talking to my plants. I'm trying to watch this corn grow. Like, come on, man, it's your turn. Come on, it's you. You actually got to talk to them. I'm picking the weeds by hand. So it was therapeutic. It was a very deep change of pace for me, and I couldn't have foreseen that by no measure because I was so used to being gangster, just regular gangster. That's it. And now my God's like, bro, this is what you do. Hey, don't be touching my plants.
Yeah.
Don't be trying. None of that. Hey, now you can go. They live here.
Yeah, no, for real. And see, that's why I created this. That's what birthed all of this, because like I lived that life for so long, and just when you realize that that's some of the dumbest stuff that we live by, I want kids to see, like when I be taking some of my kids from the CEO Youth League and they see me messing with chickens, or they see me with the bees, or they see me in the garden, I want them to see a face like this, mouthful of gold, because they never seen it. You know what I'm saying? When they see a person in the garden, normally, old white lady or something. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of my grandmas don't even do that no more. You know what I'm saying? Back in the days, but these grandmas these days, not too many gardening and doing all this foods and stuff. Back in the days, you grow up with chicken back there, a pig back there. You know what I'm saying? A garden back there. That was normal. And that's the thing. That's my whole goal, is to make this like the conversation we have about make that just normal. Like our kids grow up. Yeah, I got a garden. I do that. Like that's my goal, is to make all this stuff just normal. And it only happens if we make it cool or hip or gangster or real, because that's the only thing that grabs our kids. If they don't feel like it's real or something, they don't want to do that. That ain't, you know what I'm saying? I want to do what the rappers say that's real and gangsters. So we have to change that mindset, because like I was telling the preacher, he was kind of, the gangster word kind of threw him off, you know what I'm saying? But like I told him, I know who I'm going after. And the people I'm going after, if they don't feel like it's cool, hip, or part of the culture, they don't want to do it. I don't care if I show them how to do stocks, bonds, real estate, whatever I can teach them. If they don't feel like it's cool and hip, they don't want it. So we have to make this stuff just as cool as the negative stuff. You know what I'm saying? What you think about that mindset of making the stuff that we're talking about just as gangster as the dumb stuff that we're programmed to do?
You have to make it relatable, palatable. Yeah. Okay. My dad had this saying: would you rather eat a steak on a plate or a steak on a trash can lid? You gotta make it palatable. So today I came on this dressed like this. But when I'm in my scrubs at work, I got earrings in, I got chains on, I have a grill. I ain't been wearing my grill lately to work. But when little black kids see me, they're like, oh, you can do this? Or when, let's be real, I work in a female-dominated sport career. You're not expecting to see some guy with tattoos on his hands and his face. So I have to be twice as good. And guess what? I'm going to bring this personality. I'm going to be like, hey, yeah, man, I used to do this, now I do that. Okay, so when our youth see me, they see you, they be like, oh, it is possible. That's what I say about the representation. Yeah. Because, like I said, you got white Jesus, and I'm black. Okay, cool. And that means I'm bad. So I only see white people gardening and a black man's gardening. Oh, that means it's bad. Yeah. Wait, hold on. And then as for black people, we all from Missouri. We from the show me state of mind. You got to have to show me. You can't tell black people how to get money, and you ain't got no money yourself. You can't tell me I deserve to be driving a Benz and you drive a hoopty. Now, you might get into a car accident, accidents happen, but no, you got to show me. You have to show me. I went out the other day, chains. I had 3 rings on. I had a pinky ring and all that. Brother said, hey, wait a minute, brother. What you doing? Hey, man, I'm a retired drug dealer. I ain't throw my clothes away. I still got these.
Yeah. But not, but showing that. And that see, but that's the thing. That's who you the kid. The kid gonna walk up to you like that. You know what I'm saying? That's what they want. Then you walking up to him, but you giving him a whole different perspective. That got him. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yes.
I had a kid about a month ago. I had walked up on. He had his little sack in his hand. He was selling whatever he was selling. So I put out my phone. I was like, man, let me show you. My mentor just made 100,000 in the stock market. His eyes lit up like this. He don't even. He's like, what is a stock? He never even heard it. He never even been introduced to it. He don't see. And see, I do that because I wish when I was that kid. Because at that age, I stopped going to school because I was like, the teacher. Man, I make more than the teacher. So the teacher can't teach me nothing, even if she's the smartest person in the world. Whatever you're saying is dumb because I can go out today and make more than you. That's how, and that's just logical how kids thought. Because like I tell them, I wasn't no street dude. And I still don't feel like I did 20 years in the streets, but I don't feel like I was a street dude. I feel like I was a dude that just made a logical decision. I was the oldest of four, and my mom was always at work. And I'm thinking, like, hold on. These guys on outside in the apartment complex, they just showed me how to make $300. So I don't care about being no gangster or no street dude. That was just logical. That's common sense to me in that situation. You know what I'm saying? So if we change it up and we walk out and our kids see brothers like us, oh man, he's in the dentist. Oh, he got this youth league. Oh, he got this thrift store. Yeah, all the stuff that ain't as celebrated, but it's even more important. Like at one of my events, right? I had a guy. He does accepted tanks. The kids like, he's like, yeah, I suck out the doo doo every day, right? And it was gross to the kids, but the reason I brought him because that man makes $500,000 a year. See, our kids think the only way you can get money if you dancing, if you rapping, or if you entertaining or football or something. That man is in the 1%. And all he did, he told the kids, y'all just keep eating, I'll stay in business. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But just introducing them, and that's the whole thing. You're not going to change every kid, but it's about planting seeds and introducing them to its way of the things in life. I talk to kids all the time. They don't even know that they can run a business. I talked to a 10-year-old the other day. I'm like, you can start a business. He's like, I'm too young. Ain't nobody even introduced him that as a kid, these are the prime years. Because if a kid walk up to me right now, bro, I don't care what they selling, I'm buying it just because it's a kid. So your power is being a kid and having a product to sell. That picture right there is from Raya. That's a 12-year-old that's part of my program. Yeah. She sells those paintings right now. You know what I'm saying? Like if she walk up to you telling you if she's selling this, it's gonna be hard to say no, just because it's a 12-year-old, black queen that's doing her thing. You know what I'm saying? And that's the power I'm trying to let them know. We don't have to beg for opportunities. We can create them by what's in our mind. And that's why I changed the mindset change. So what do you think what was your mindset change? Was it prison, or was it one event, or what was it that woke you up one day and like, you know what? It's really something
here. I could pinpoint it to an event. So the brother Daryl, he had pulled me to this event and he said, we having a brotherhood meeting. I said, brotherhood meeting? I said, yes. And brother Robert Muhammad was there. A brother named Dez, his best friend, RIP. He was a Christian. Some street guys. Shout out to my brother Diesel Greasel. And a couple other people. And these were strong black men. Talking bold. Said, we gonna stop the violence. That was the campaign at that time was Stop the Violence. Shout out to brother Breon in Killeen, Texas. And they said, we gonna stop the violence. These men said, this is the day. We gonna stop it. We might not be able to stop it in the end, because that was the end of the conversation, but we gonna mitigate it and try to reduce it. So from there, I went on my own self journey. I read the Message to the Black Man. I tell every black person, you need to read that book. Yes. Take away the religion part, it might not be for you, but he teaches things like pool your resources. If you only have one suit, make sure it's the cleanest suit. If you can't afford a haircut, cut each other's hair. One of y'all gonna have to get good. I cut my hair. I've been cutting my hair for the last 4 years. Yes. I look pretty decent. I get one haircut every so often, and then I maintain that one haircut. I had a complete mindset shift. Then I tell our brothers and sisters, stop smoking, stop drinking. I had a sister, and she says, oh my God, I'm about to leave my husband. I said, so how long have you been sober? She says 3 days. I said, that's why. It's because you're not smoking anymore. Your mind, the fog is starting to come off your brain. You're starting to realize that it is kind of terrible. I had worked. Yeah, I had worked at Wendy's for 7 years. I sold drugs and worked at Wendy's and smoked every single day. I stopped smoking. I said, "Oh yeah, I'm about to be out of here." I've been sober 5 years now,
Yeah.
and
Congratulations.
thank you. It's tough. I still come around my friends. I was with my friends, and how you say the perspective. I still go see our people. You know, sometimes when a lot of people go to church, you know, Jesus saved us all. You need to put that wacky tobacco down. No, I'm still a normal person. I was in the trap house a couple of days. One partner hustles. Another dude was selling Lady Persuasion, the ladies of the night. And I was just sitting there talking to him, playing the game. And somebody passed me the blunt. I said, "Oh, well, thank you, good sir," and passed it to the next person.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
He's like, "Wait, you don't smoke?" I was like, "Nah." He's like, "For real? How you know?" Yeah, just because, you know, Jesus said, "Be from this world, not of this world." I got a mother and father, just like everybody else. But I don't need to smoke. I don't need to drink. I'm high off life. I like spending my money going on trips. I like being able to say, I got something nice, got a new suit. When you see me, I'm going to try to always be shining. Unless you catch me at Walmart. You know, no one cares at Walmart.
For sure, I got you. But
Yeah.
see that's the power of the mindset change. Because when your mindset change, you're not worried about what the world perceives you as or what everybody look at you as. It's about you walking in your confidence and you walking in your true self. So it's not, and I tell people all the time, a lot of people trying to keep up with the Joneses, but they don't even realize the Joneses are broke. And I tell people that all the time. Quit trying to keep up with everybody. Live your truth. I battle people all the time about, like, you know, I run a thrift store, so I got a bunch of trucks, right? They all older trucks, but they all paid for. That's the I can go. I got a partner, he pulled up on me about a month ago. I'm talking about nice truck, right? I said, "Man, that thing souped up. It's nice." He said, "Yeah, man, I pay $1,100 a month." I said, "Ooh, that thing ugly now, man. That thing is ugly."
That thing ugly.
I'm talking about it. Only reason I would say that's okay if that $1,100 makes you $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 a month. But if you just ride in it and that's just your everyday car, nah. But like I say, to him, it feels good when he pull up and people see him in it. But I'm like, but you part of the rat race now. You can't lose your job. Can't nothing go wrong because you'll lose your truck. You know what I'm saying? I tell people all the time, I'd rather have an older house that's paid for than a new house that I got a 30-year mortgage on. You know what I'm saying? The 30-year mortgage, of course, you look like you're doing better than me. The society says you're above me or whatever. But if I lose my job or if the economy shut down or this and that, you're going to be, I'm going to stay in my old house and be straight. And it's a mindset that you just got to realize what's more important and don't let the way of this world trap you into that rat race. You know what I'm saying? And that's why a lot of our people, we trapped in the rat race and we had nothing so long that when we get something, that's why income tax come. What we do, we ball out because we feel like, well, I waited all year. So it's my obligation to spend my money. No, if you waited all year for that money, that means you can keep waiting. So that when that money comes, stash it or invest it and keep living like you've been living. But that's so hard for us, for our people. So why do you think it's more important for us to look like we're doing good than actually do good? Well, you know.
I got you. All right, I'm gonna quote two different people. All right, I'm gonna quote first brother Nuri Muhammad. He said, "We spend all our money with people that don't care about us on things that we don't need to impress people that we don't even like."
Yeah, for real.
We don't even like these people. We say keeping up with the Joneses. It's a mindset. Like you always say, it's a mindset. And some parts are our fault. We got to take responsibility. Yeah. But I'm going to give you something. You drop a gem from your brother, Ron Jupiter. That's the person you need to get on here next. This brother helped me.
I talked to him a couple of times. I definitely need to get him on here.
Yes, that brother helped me get my finances together. And he'll tell you his thing. The acronym's called DIME, D-I-M-E. First thing, can you afford to die?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
A death is, let's be real. Most people can't afford to die.
Nah, we need to keep living because we need to figure out something before we die.
Yeah. You got to die. Can you afford to die? Right now, black people die. Big Mama and them got to sell hot plates. We got the GoFundMe. You know, we over here trying to scramble to get dollars together. Talking about, Nuck Nuck died on Tuesday. Man, when the funeral? January, fam.
Yeah. Real. Gotta hold it off. We got to come up with now for real.
The next is your income. You're supposed to be able to secure your income by 5 times. That's tough.
Yeah.
1 year's salary needs to be able to multiply by 5 times. So you ain't got to work for 5 years. So if you have 5 years to only focus on you and your business, right now, if you didn't have to pay none of your bills, you could just focus on only you be all right.
Yeah.
Next, is your mortgage secure? You just said it. I own this house. The house might be old, kind of ugly, kind of beat up, but I own it.
Yeah.
You know, I drove a little beat up Alero. Everybody like, man, you got money. Why don't you get another car? Get another car. I said, for what? I own this car.
Yeah.
That car parked in front of my mama's house right now. My brother's driving. It's like,
real.
sell it. I'm like, what am I gonna sell this car for? This car, run. That car been in front of my mama's house since July. Yesterday, I started that car running. Whoop. I said, oh, yeah, we own.
Yeah.
Yup, I love you.
Yeah.
My brother drives a Challenger. He said, yeah, I'm about to take this Challenger back. I'm about to drive the Bucket again.
For
Bucket
real.
paid off, good on gas, got a little dents, beat ups, but hey, it's good. Who I'm trying to impress.
Yeah.
Can you secure your mortgage? Then your next is your education. Can you afford your children to go to college?
Yeah.
Right now, a decent bachelor degree in state is $30,000 if you stay at home. If you go to college, let's say you went to Morehouse, I think it's between $20,000 and $30,000 a year. My best friend joined. He went to, I think, Morehouse. Yeah, Morehouse is across the street from Spelman. That man said his school came out to $120,000. I said, boy, you ain't even that smart.
They charge you up, boy.
Yeah, boy, you ain't even got $120,000 worth of dollars of information in your head. You just graduated with a piece of paper, you know. But do we have $120,000 for your kids to go to school if they wanted to go to the Harvards, the Yales, you know? If you wanted to go to HBCU, so we're trying to keep up with unrealistic things.
Yeah.
Like I said, your death, your income, your mortgage, and your education. Then let's say you don't want to get a typical white man's education. What education you gonna get? The streets? That's a hard education. It's a quick education, but it comes with death. It comes with the opportunity to go to prison if you lucky.
Yeah.
You might not even come out of it on top.
Yeah.
At the end of it, who wants to keep going into that vicious cycle of I lost a friend? Oh my God, he's in jail. I don't go to funerals anymore. If you don't die of natural causes, I will not go to your funeral. I'm not showing up.
Yeah.
I already told my family this. I said, well, you know, man, my cousin RB Tambora died from overdose. I didn't come see him for what? You already been dead. You been dead, bro. You just happen to physically die. You've been putting that stuff up your nose, popping these pills, getting drunk. I seen my cousin drunk on a Sunday before 10 a.m. Boy, you already been dead. Dropped the gun and everything. I said, yeah, I need to go.
Yeah.
You know? So we're always trying to keep up with these facades and look like money. He looked like money. He had some Timberland boots on, the gold chain, baggy pants. He was fresh, but this didn't make sense.
Exactly. And that's the whole thing. Like, stop worrying about what you're looking like and be like, man, I could go on and on. We approaching the hour, so I don't want to hold you too long, but I do want to get into this dental. How did you get into the dental? And that's one thing that stuck out to me when I first met you. I'm like, and I always tell people, I was like, man, I need to move to the panel because I want a black doctor and I want a black dental. I want a black, you know what I'm saying? I want somebody that's black in these industries. So it's so big that you're in this industry, and you told me right now you're taking your test and you're getting ready to go and go to the next level in that industry. What got you into that field?
So if you ever seen the movie Men of Honor with Cuba Gooding Jr., you know, he had lost his leg and he says, why you want it? Because they said I couldn't have it. So simple as that. They told me, they said, well, you got this felony and you got these tattoos. You might as well go do HVAC. I said, HVAC? I said, what is that? Oh, you going to be the guy to put the air conditioning in houses. I said, wait a minute, I'm going to put air conditioning in the house before there is no air conditioning? And she says, yes. I said, nah, I'm good on it. Nope, ain't me. Then true story, shout out to my brother Sean in New Jersey. My brother's dark skinned like you. And he went to school to go be a pharmacy tech. And I see my brother in this white jacket on. And I said, oh, no, they're going to let Blackie get to be that? And I got to be outside? I told him that, too. I said, bro, I didn't mean to call you that. But I said, that's how my mind was during that time period. A dark-skinned man gets to be inside with the house N-words. And my light-skinned stuff got to be outside? And he said, bro, did you really say that? I said, yeah, bro, I apologize for talking to you like that. And I was in a different mindset. I was still smoking and drinking, and my brain had been not washed, but dirtied during that time period. You know, dark-skinned people were supposed to be outside, light-skinned house N-words are supposed to be inside. So I ended up taking the program. They told me, oh, well, you know, you got this hair. I ended up cutting the hair. I had to go.
Oh man, I didn't even know I was muted. But yeah, I said what I was saying is I think my brother lost his either phone probably went dead or something. But I'm gonna give him a few seconds to try to get on. But this is what's up, amazingly beautiful Van. What's up, man? Everybody that tapped in today. My bro, he was just on. I think his phone either died out or he just got cut off. But that's my brother, brother Foreign Love. He's out of Killeen, Texas. He's Nation of Islam brother, but he's into the dental, and he's just a strong black man that I want to broadcast on this platform about his growing. He want to teach me about that you can create your own soil. So I'm learning about that part when it grows. I'm gonna get with him and we're gonna really dive in on that. But I wanted to present him today because the field he's in, most of us not in, and that's the dental field. And he come from the streets to gang bang and went to the prison. Now he's out and he's in your mouth, getting your mouth right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you got to smash that like button. Thanks, amazingly beautiful family and her holding me down. So yeah, this is what we bring on this platform. We're gonna be bringing more brothers in, and I think his phone probably died out the way it just cut off. So, and he was outside too, and it was real windy. So he probably won't be able to come back on today. But we definitely gonna have a part 2 to this. I'm gonna be having a health summit real soon. I got another interview or 2 today. I'm going in today because I haven't did one in a week. So today I'm going in and I got a presentation about how to bypass the haters and the non-supporters. You know, I'm gonna be doing a presentation on that later today. So y'all tap in with me. Amazingly beautiful, man. You know what? I don't have no minds or nothing like that. Say, cousin, we're gonna have to talk. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm trying to build this channel, so I need that love, that energy. You feel me, baby? You know what I'm saying? Maybe we can tap in with something. But yeah, this is what Wealth is Gangster about. We're gonna be bringing different people from different walks of life. That's about being strong, independent, and doing for self, and growing your foods and your and all that. Like we talking about the animals, raising our own animals and growing our own foods and just doing for ourselves, building our own nation. You know, that's what I'm always talking about, building your own nation. So this was another great episode. I hate that it just died out like that, but I can tell because he ain't even hit me. So his phone must have died and he's out. So we definitely will be bringing him back on whenever we can. I know he's in the big terms right now because he's a dental assistant now, but he's going up for whatever the next level of that is. You know, I don't know if he's an actual dentist, but he's on his way up. So I want to salute him for coming on. Thanks everybody for tapping in. And this was another great conversation on Wealth is Gangster. Y'all check back in with me later.